Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide videos, and today we are covering Iron Valiant, which has a huge attack stat, a really good special attack stat, a pretty good speed stat, pretty good defense and relatively okay HP, so it can definitely live a hit. Its special defense though is pretty lackluster, so you do have to be a little bit worried about kind of special attacks, but this thing has got some extraordinary power to it and an extraordinarily huge move pool to the point where I've not been able to put all the moves I wanted to in the useful move section, so I'll go through more of them in a second. But first of all, we've got our useful moves. We've got Agility to double our speed, meaning you outspeed basically everything. Aura Sphere, because, you know, stab, fighting type attack on the special front. Brick Break to get rid of screens. Calm Mind to be able to set up your special attack, special defense, which, as I said, special defense is lacking, so that makes it a lot better. Close Combat, powerful fighting type attack. Dazzling Gleam, powerful fairy attack. Drain Punch for recovery. Energy Ball for coverage. Fire Punch for coverage. Focus Blast for coverage as well. Hex, you know, if you've got like Toxic Spikes or something, that doubles the power because if the Pokemon's poisoned. Ice Punch for coverage. Knock Off to get rid of items. Moon Blast is a powerful fairy type move. You've got Poison Jab for more coverage as well, and also Psychic on there, along with things like Psyshock. That I'll show you. I'll scroll down on here. So we've got only down to where Psychic is on the useful move, and I've even limited off some of the other moves that you can use in here. You've got things like Light Screen and Reflect as well. You've got Psycho Cut. You've got Psyshock. You've got Shadow Ball, Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak for some priority. You've got Spirit Break for a physical fairy type move. Stored Power if you decide to go for the Calm Mind setups. Taunt to stop Pokemon from setting up. Terra Blast, Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, Thunder Wave, and also Trick and Zen Headbutt there. Not to mention even things like Charge Beam, which can allow you to raise up your special attack stat, which, you know, would be really fantastic. So yeah, lots and lots and lots that you can do with this Mon, and you know, I haven't particularly shown it off perfectly, but hopefully you get to see the idea there. In terms of double moves, it also has some fantastic moves. So you've got things like Encore, being able to force your opponent into using the same move multiple times. Now this can allow you to work around that and possibly set up or possibly do some other shenanigans. Protect, it's on everything. Disable, stop Pokemon from using moves. This could work for things like, I don't know, Follow Me or Rage Powder. You've got Helping Hand to help your ally with their attack. Icy Wind to slow down Pokemon, and then Destiny Bond to take down the Pokemon with you if you go down within the next turn. Now, obviously, you can run the attacking, the single sets as well in terms of doubles as a sweeper set, or as a kind of a setup set, but when it comes to the double sets, it's kind of a specifically kind of double support set that I've come up with. In terms of Terra types, I have got 3 suggested Terra types here. So you have got an issue with the bottom there. It should say times 0.5 in the fighting as opposed to times times 0.5 instead of times 5 there in the fighting. But I'm halfway through this now, so I'm not going to re-record it. But yeah, 0.5 as a typo on my part. In terms of Terra types, we have got a few decent Terra types here that get rid of some of your weaknesses. In particular, I think Steel type is probably going to be your best typing here. One, it gets rid of your Fairy weakness and gives you a super effective attack against Fairy types. Allows you to resist Steel types, resist Psychic types, also resist Flying types as well. You're going to see less damage coming out from a lot of different Pokemon there. It allows you to get an immunity to poison types as well, so, you know, Steel type is a really, really fantastic type to have, and you can cover things like the Fighting type, which is super effective against you. Just be cautious of things like Flying types. Now, Ice type is a pretty good option as well. You do just need to be cautious of the Steel type moves, but the Ice type does allow you to cover a couple of your weaknesses and just get rid of a lot of your weaknesses as well, and just gives you general coverage. And also the Psychic typing allows you to basically only be hit super effectively by Bug, Ghost, and Dark types, 2 of which you already resist and 1 of which you had neutral, but the rest of them you are going to at least resist or have that neutral aspect to. So actually, that can work out pretty nice. I think Steel is definitely the best typing here, but Psychic type I would say is a secondary, and Ice just allows you to kind of take things out and completely change things up and hit a lot of different Pokemon for some damage there as well. Now, when it comes to the sets, there are plenty of set plenty of ideas when it comes to Iron Valiant, and I haven't covered by any chance all of them. This is just a kind of sample of the sets and the sample of the moves that you can use. As I said, it's got so many moves to coverage. There's a charge beam capability set that I don't think I've ran, but yeah, lots and lots of different things. So the first one I've gone for is the booster energy with the Quark Drive to be able to get you to 1.5 in your speed, obviously giving you what would be the equivalent of a choice scarf, but you're not limited into that specific move. So then you use Swords Dance to double your attack power from 359 to 718. Obviously that is going to be very, very high, and you're realistically going to live probably at least one attack from an opponent's Pokemon, unless it's something that you are weak against. You've then got Close Combat, which is powerful Fighter type move boosted by Stab, Spirit Break, powerful Berry type boosted by Stab, and also Poison Jab, just to cover a little bit with regards to your weaknesses there as well. And then in terms of EVs, max attack, max speed with a Jolly Nature, so more speed, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. Now, if you're wanting to get the boost in speed from the booster energy, you do need to have the Jolly Nature. You do need plus speed minus special attack. That allows you to just outweigh the attack power, and you can then get the speed boost. If you're going for just attack power, you don't worry too much about the speed. So for example, you've got sticky webs on the field or something, you can go for attack power with an Adamant Nature, some more attack, less special attack, and that will allow you to kind of smash, I suppose, a lot of different Pokemon. It's going to allow you to have a lot of damage output, especially after a Swords Dance. Even before a Swords Dance, it's going to do a lot of damage. So this thing is absolutely destructive. It can completely break teams, and is one of the best Pokemon, I think, that is out at the minute. Moving on to the second Iron Valiant set, I've gone for a Calm Mind Stored Power set. So on this, the idea, I have a Life Orb. You could put Booster Energy, you could put Leftovers, you could put lots and lots of different things on here as an option. But the idea here is to set up with Calm Mind, try and set up maybe 1, 2, 3. If you get 3 Calm Mind set up, that boosts your stored power by 20 per stat that's increased, so that goes to 140 base power. Now if you only get 2, that's still base 100 power, which obviously is going to be very powerful and very destructive. You've then got Moonblast, which is powerful stab, fairy type attack. Obviously this is going into your special attack, and then Focus Blast for a bit more coverage as well there. Just thinking about a few of the ones that you may not want to deal with, such as things like Steel types, but obviously you've got that boosted by Stab as well. So this works out really nicely as a set. Just you need to be able to set up a couple of Calm Minds. So if you do it at the right time, you can really get a huge amount of power off. EV wise, max special attack, max speed, Timid Nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. You could definitely run this as a max HP, max special attack, or a max HP, max defense set if you wanted to make it more tanky, but taking advantage of that speed could be more utilizable, so that's what I would recommend going for. Moving on to the third one, again I've got Booster Energy, but this time you could put on things like a Lychee Berry or any stat raising berries or any healing berries. You could put on here something like Covert Cloak, which is a really good generic item to run. You could put Leftovers, you could put lots and lots of different items on here. You're not limited to just the Booster Energy, but the Booster Energy does allow for your attack power to increase up a little bit more here, and that's the whole idea of this. So boost power gives you, with Booster Energy will give your Quark Drive 1.3 times power, which will obviously be a lot more powerful. Agility allows you to double your speed from 331 to 662, which realistically there are not going to be very many Pokemon that can outspeed that. Then you've got Drain Punch, because you're probably going to take a hit initially. That Drain Punch with your huge attack stat, realistically you're going to be able to recover a lot of health. Zen Headbutt, the opportunity to flinch is pretty fantastic. I know it's only 20% chance, but obviously if you flinch the Pokemon, you then get a turn where you take no damage, which is really awesome. And also Thunder Punch, just for a little bit of coverage there as well. Covers things like your flying type weakness. Now obviously, you can put a fairy type move in here, like Moonblast or Dazzling, not Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam. You can put Spirit Break or something like that in there if you wanted to, but it's entirely up to you. EV wise, this one you specifically will need the plus Adamant Nature, so plus attack, minus special attack, and you'll need the max speed there as well, just to outspeed as many Pokemon as possible. In fact, you probably could take some out of speed and put it into HP or one of the defenses if you wanted to. It is entirely up to you how you decide to run that. but you know, obviously you can definitely run a little bit less speed in here, especially as you're going to be setting up the agility there. Obviously, if you're not going to set up the agility, then having the speed will be nice. Moving on to the next Iron Valiant, I thought we'd go a little bit off course, and we've got an Encore screen set. So Encore would set the Pokemon into doing the move that it's been doing all over again. So for example, if it's just set up something like Stealth Rocks, you can Encore that into the Stealth Rocks. With having that huge speed, realistically it's not going to outspeed you, meaning that you are going to be able to get that Encore off to get that same status or the same non-attacking move to be used. Then Light Screen Reflects, with the Light Play you get 8 turns of those, which is really fantastic. You'll take half damage to everything. Then we have Knockoff, get rid of items, because really getting rid of items is absolutely huge. A lot of Pokemon become a lot less usable when they have not got their items, sorry. EV wise, as I said, max speed, really useful with this, because you'll be able to have the capability to get the Encore off, even if you haven't, from what they've used in their previous turn. Sorry, I had a complete mind blank there. But yeah, max speed, max HP, I would definitely recommend this. Jolly nature, more speed, less special attack, and a little bit in attack. You can kind of play around with these numbers a little bit if you wish, but that is entirely up to you based on what couch you have and what team you're running. And then finally, I've gone for a doubles Iron Valiant set, which this is interesting to say the least. You can obviously run one of the sweeping sets or a mixed sweeper set. It's definitely an option to run, but I thought I would run one that's more of a kind of utility defense. You have got leftovers, allowing for you to have recovery each turn. Obviously, you can run this with like a Pink Urchin to get that Quark Drive to activate. But you've got Helping Hand here, allowing you to increase the attack power of your allies' move. Icy Wind to slow down the opponent's Pokemon, because let's face it, speed control is really important in doubles. Thunder Wave to allow you to, 1, have the opportunity to paralyze Pokemon, and 2, again, to decrease the speed. Think about things like, I don't know, Flutter Mane comes to mind. I don't think it's usable. Flutter Mane comes to mind, which is really fast, so using Thunder Wave on that could be really useful. And then Disable, because, you know, stopping your Pokemon from using attack is really helpful, especially if it is something like a Follow Me or a Rage Powder or something along those lines. EV wise, again, as this is more of a utility support, it's not going to have a huge amount of attack. You can go for max speed, max HP, and actually I don't know why this has gone for any investment in the attack. You don't want any investment in the attack. You actually want a little bit of investment in your special attack possibly, but at the same time you don't necessarily need that. I would minus down my attack here, just do some live editing, and then possibly chuck those 4 EVs just in special defense. So, you know, you can play around with the numbers again here, but I'd recommend going for the fast speed set with a lot of HP investment to allow you to live as many hits as possible. Anyways, that's going to be all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe and comment. As I said, there are lots of moves that you can use on Iron Valiant, so I'd recommend having a play around. Like, this is just a stepping stone. Obviously you can have any modifications that you definitely would see fit. But that's going to be all for today. Please do like, subscribe and comment. Let me know what your sets are, and I'll see you soon.